Paige Bueckers steps up as Caitlin Clark falls short of the superstar narrative fans expected. One growing spotlight in women's basketball. Paige Bueckers has long been viewed as one of the most promising talents in women's basketball, dating back to her collegiate days when she was already projected as a future professional star. From early on, her career was frequently compared to Caitlin Clark's, largely because both entered the spotlight as elite, high IQ players with exceptional vision. While their styles differ, their status as generational talents has always linked them in conversation. For many fans, especially newer ones, Caitlin Clark was positioned as the player who would change not only the way the game is played, but also how women's basketball is perceived globally. In many ways, she has delivered on that expectation. As the Indiana Fever star, Clark is widely considered a transformative figure in the WNBA, driving unprecedented spikes in viewership, attendance, and commercial interest, often described as the Caitlin Clark effect. Still, there is one area where the narrative has begun to shift. The off-season spotlight tells a different story. While Clark's impact during the season is undeniable, her presence tends to fade once the games stop. Many fans assumed her on-court dominance would be paired with a more visible, celebrity-style off-season presence, particularly on social media. Instead, Clark often steps away from the spotlight when basketball is not front and center. That space has gradually been occupied by Bueckers, who has leaned into the modern side of athlete branding and visibility. Bueckers has steadily become a fan favorite, not just for her play, but for how she markets her professional career. She remains active during the offseason, engages with generational trends, and continues competing in the unrivaled league. As a guard for the Dallas Wings, she has emerged as the undisputed focal point of Unrivaled, a league that in its first season also gave Angel Reese significant off-season exposure without being overshadowed by Clark. With Clark opting out of the league for a second straight season, a clear void formed in the superstar narrative, one that Bueckers has been more than willing to fill. Two approaches, same impact on the game. This contrast does not suggest one path is better than the other. Clark appears comfortable staying out of the spotlight during moments that are not directly tied to the game, while Bueckers understands how to steadily gain ground beyond the court. In that sense, Paige Bueckers steps up as Caitlin Clark falls short of the superstar narrative fans expected, not because Clark lacks influence, but because she chooses a different relationship with visibility and relevance. Despite constant comparisons, this analysis highlights differences rather than competition. Both players continue to contribute significantly to the growth of women's basketball, each in her own way. That distinction matters, especially during a time when the league is facing much larger challenges and opportunities. As the WNBA pushes forward, issues like salary equity and revenue sharing remain central. Players currently receive less than 7% of league revenue, a stark contrast to the roughly 50% shared with players in the NBA. In that context, the focus should not be on pitting stars against one another, but on unity. With figures like Clark and Bueckers driving attention from different angles, the league is better positioned to strengthen its future and advocate for meaningful change that benefits everyone involved.